What if I told you there was a game that allowed you to play as characters from all of Disney's many properties, Pixar, Marvel, Star Wars, and this game was a platformer, and an open world action game, and a Diablo clone, and a kart racer? Today we're looking at Disney Infinity 3.0. I'm kind of cheating here. Usually I cover retro games that use classic licenses in weird or interesting ways on old consoles. Now, Disney Infinity 3.0 came out in 2015. It's not old at all. Disney Infinity is Disney's entry into the toys-to-life genre of video games, like Skylanders or Lego Dimensions. You put a real-life action figure or level pack onto a little plastic device, and then the action figure appears in the game. And then you can buy more physical action figures that then unlock more characters and more levels in the video game. If you're thinking, this sounds like a money pit, you're not wrong. But also, Disney Infinity is the only modern game I play right now. Disney Infinity 1.0 came out in 2013 and focused on Pixar's Cars, The Lone Ranger, and Monsters, Inc. Disney Infinity 2.0 came out in 2014 and focused on Marvel Comics characters, specifically Spider-Man, the Avengers, and the Guardians of the Galaxy. Disney Infinity 3.0 came out in 2015 and set its sights on Star Wars, all three eras of Star Wars to be exact. The first two Disney Infinity games were criticized for their dull combat, so this time around, Disney got the developer Ninja Theory to overhaul the combat. Ninja Theory made the Devil May Cry reboot a few years ago, DMC, which played really well but didn't sell really well. I applaud Disney for finding a good developer that just needed a more mainstream IP to showcase their talents to a wider audience and also to, frankly, fix their game a bit. Disney Infinity 3.0 isn't as technically competent as Devil May Cry or a Bayonetta or an Arkham Asylum. It's a little button mashy, but the moves look cool, which is fun for someone like me. For example, my favorite move is where Princess Leia rams a bantha into a stormtrooper, then leaps off the bantha and shoots the stormtrooper. She then juggles the stormtrooper, then kicks them in the air, the game slows down in bullet time, and then Leia shoots them. Then she calls down a bunch of little soldiers to swarm the bad guys. The best. And Luke has a move where he pulls bad guys to him with his force powers, slashes at them with his lightsaber, then blasts them a few times. It's really, really satisfying. This is a game where anybody can ride a tauntaun and gun down probe droids and wampas. This has never happened in the movies, but it is delightful. Disney Infinity 3.0 has been described by some as an open world game for babies, which isn't far from the truth. It has the same sort of story missions and fetch quests and destroy X number of MacGuffins that you would find in a World of Warcraft or a Skyrim. And there are a lot of fetch quests, but they're hidden well within the lore of Star Wars stuff like, you need to find all the members of the Mos Eisley Cantina band and then bring them to the bar so they can play their show. So, on one hand it's really silly, and on one hand it's really fun to play, and on one hand it's a fetch quest. But Disney Infinity 3.0 is not just about playing Star Wars campaigns. There's a playset called the Box Speedway that's basically a Mario Kart knockoff, but for Disney characters. And here's the deal. It's actually a pretty good Mario Kart knockoff. Disney contracted Sumo Digital to develop Box Speedway, and Sumo Digital made some of the best Mario Kart knockoffs in recent history with the two Sega All-Stars racing games. So, the pedigree is there. There's 9 levels in all, based on various Disney properties like Frozen or Guardians of the Galaxy and of course Star Wars. Even the Disney Channel series Gravity Falls makes an appearance. This may actually be the only time that Gravity Falls will ever appear in full 3D. Any Disney character can play in this mode and invade any of the universes. Want Yoda to drive a land speeder through Agrabah? You got it. Remember how Wreck-It Ralph's entire third act was in a kart racer? There's a level from that game too. And if I want to drive Chewbacca through the Nightmare Before Christmas, gosh darn it, I can do that too. It must be said that Box Speedway is another $20, and it can't be played without buying the other Disney Infinity stuff, so I've spent a lot of money, I think. But it is a fun kart racer. And then there's Toy Box Takeover, another $20 expansion for Disney Infinity 3.0. In Toy Box Takeover, apparently Syndrome, who's the bad guy from The Incredibles, has decided to pool all the Disney Universe's villains together. That means Venom and Darth Vader work for Syndrome. So, of course, Merlin from Sword in the Stone is your mentor in the fight against Syndrome. Of course, it's preposterous, it's silly, and I love it. Because it provides the flimsiest of excuses to get the best and the brightest of Marvel, Star Wars, Pixar, and other Disney products to fight through waves of bad guys and levels themed on Lone Ranger, Pirates of the Caribbean, Star Wars, and The Incredibles. Like, Inside Out's anger is just shooting fireballs at bad guys on the Death Star. Luke and Leia are riding horses and shooting cattle rustlers. Doesn't make a lick of sense, and I love it. And you have not lived until you've destroyed a whole bridge of stormtroopers with Hulk piloting an AT-ST. Or fought Darth Vader as Groot. That's right, I'm a tree fighting Darth Vader. Just doing it. Toy Box Takeover could devolve into a simple arcade-style beat-em-up like Double Dragon or the Ninja Turtles arcade game, but characters have pretty diverse, individualized movesets. They also gain experience points and can level up and invest skill points in unlocking new abilities and souping up their stats. Really what I'm saying is Toy Box Takeover is a simplified Diablo clone, but with Disney characters. Toy Box Takeover even has Diablo-style pets, which are computer-controlled support characters that help attack bad guys. These pets, or sidekicks, as Toy Box Takeover calls them, represent even more Disney characters, usually ones that aren't going to be big enough to warrant making a figure out of, like Robin Hood or the Seven Dwarves. I personally love equipping Fix-It Felix with a bazooka and letting him go to town on bad guys. I've just scratched the surface of what Disney Infinity 3.0 has. There's a whole level creation suite like Minecraft. There's a whole prequel trilogy campaign and a Force Awakens campaign that I barely mentioned. There's also an Inside Out campaign that plays like a platformer. Disney Infinity 3.0 is the kind of cross-universe canon-ignoring goofy game that I really enjoy. It's not the best game in the world by any stretch, but I love it. It's a weird game that loves its licenses, but also knows not to take itself too seriously. Like, it has Jar Jar Binks frozen in carbonite. It's that kind of game.